Morning, guys. Well, we finished up beans yesterday, finally. Thank goodness. It takes a while sometimes. We actually took a truckload in last week after we had a bunch of fog and about 3/10 of rain and some other stuff for 3 or 4 days, and that load of beans was 20%. We were on our last field at the time, and it already started when that rain and foggy days kind of rolled in, and so you know, in the meantime, I spent most of that time in the N6 picking corn while we waited for the moisture to come down, which was fine, no big deal, got a couple of fields done. But with that, now we have swapped headers. Unhooked the Draper header. I have a 27-foot rigid header that we bought for $1,500 that we run into Milo on my R65. And that's what we're gonna do today, actually later today. Milo and beans and like wheat, you know, generally you wait until the humidity comes down to start that harvest. Milo can pick up a lot of moisture overnight too, kind of like beans as well. So we're actually headed to the N6 this morning. We're gonna pick a semi-load of corn, just so we're making progress somewhere. And once I've done that, we will shut that combine off, run down to the R65, give it a quick service and once over, and jump in and start cutting on our first field of Milo. I've already made a loop in that Milo field. Pretty damn sure it's dry, but that's kind of the plan for this morning, is just go pick corn, run the N6 for a bit. Thankfully, finally in a field that's long, half-mile rows. So just have to sit in the seat basically with my auto steer in there and monitor head height. And then we'll go to the R65 and open that field up and start going back and forth with it too. Because, yeah, GPS. And that field is also a nice flat field and one of my easiest fields to harvest. And we'll start working on Milo. Dang it. Uh-oh. Come on. I think we'll let it warm up for a little bit. But in the meantime, I actually had this auger out. I broke it off right in the elbow down there the other day. Don't know really what happened. It's an older combine, so parts failures happen. And really, truthfully, that auger was getting pretty sharp and thin. Idle Gleaner back just a little. And so I broke it off down in there, right there in the elbow the other day, right before the U-joint in the auger. And really, it's not that bad of a replacement on these combines. Truthfully, it's a lot easier. I've been around John Deere's most of my life, and then we switched to Gleaner stuff, or I switched to Gleaner. Didn't really give Dad a choice. But the fix was actually really easy. When it broke it off, though, it shoved that sprocket and bearing out the side of the combine, about that far when it broke. So I got new bearing for that. You can undo that black cover, and the whole auger just comes out this side. And yeah, you just put your new auger on, bearing in, sprocket goes on the outside, put it back in. Really wasn't too bad. And then you have to also pull your unload auger out a little ways, so that way you could get it all. It bent up a bracket inside the elbow a little bit too, so I take that out, but we had to take the U-joint and stuff out. But really, like, 2 of us here were able to just undo the 4 bolts here around the ring and pull the whole unload auger out and two of us could lift it and pull it out, no big deal. So it was an experience, yes, but really not too bad. And we were back in business the next day. I do a little bit of welding in the grain tank, had a shield that kind of collapsed. I'm wondering if that was part of the problem too. But yeah, this girl's warming up now. All good on vitals, oil. I greased it really good yesterday morning and only cut 2 bin loads with it, so no real reason to get the grease gun out this morning. Lodestar is just gonna sit here this morning. But yeah, we're getting her loaded up. Got a little bit more room on the back, and then we'll fill Dad's semi here. The Lodestar holds, I think the most I've had on it's 573 bushels. 550 is a, you know, kind of a normal load. 573 is the most, which is probably plenty. But we're gonna load the Tempty trailer. I think it'll take like 5 bin loads off this thing pretty nicely. But today we're actually doing a half-mile long rows. So I'll probably pick around and dump on each end here. This is one of my aunt's fields, and we were way short of rain in July, which is when it matters. We got some smut out here from hail as well. But we were pretty short of rain in July, but it rained really good in August. So we didn't get big ears, if that makes sense, but they filled. So that's just kind of the nature of what happened here for us this year. It was a pretty good year for beans and Milo, but corn is not outstanding. This stuff, I think we planted at 16,000 population. We had like 12 inches of rain throughout the summer, and not bad. I mean, that's not a big year to a lot of you guys, but at least they filled completely what we had here. If we'd had some rains earlier, things around here would look a lot better. But nonetheless, you take what you're given and you go on to the next year. Obviously, this stuff isn't worth a lot either. Right around $4 cash local. Milo's worse. Milo's only worth a little over $3 cash local. Beans currently, I think, is just barely over 10, which is actually pretty nice. But yeah, we're done with beans. I made a loop in the field yesterday to start Milo just to make sure things were working. And here in a minute, we'll get the N6 moving, start picking. And then once I got that semi there full, we're gonna jump down and start cutting Milo. One of my actual, I love to cut Milo. A lot of people hate Milo because it's itchy and whatever. I don't really itch in Milo, and I love to cut it. Just a fun crop for me, and it's pretty too. It's a really pretty crop. And we're moving. Got corn coming in back there. Everything's working. We're just picking away here. Half-mile long rows back over to the trucks over there. Got the GPS rolling. Just picking along. About 4 mile an hour this morning. Just not getting too wound up, not pushing real hard. I really need to turn the variable speed drive up a little bit, but something's wrong with those solenoids on this combine, so we're just, you know, picking steady. Let's go with that. This did have some hail. That's why there's not a lot of leaves here. And yeah, and the wind blows and rips leaves off this time of year. But that's pretty much the gist of it. We're gonna sit here and go back and forth and pick some corn. Having fun. You know, I think that might be enough corn on the old Lodestar. Probably a little over the normal 550 bushels we shoot for. I actually ran over a little bit, embarrassingly. Right there. But that happens. It really does. She's full, for sure. We're doing it. Milo has begun. Not the greatest Milo, far from the worst Milo. We're trucking along here at about 4.5 mile an hour. Just behind me is a city, or the village of Calvert. I don't know, little town right along Highway 383. Right there by that telephone pole, right in the middle of the screen, was up until a couple years ago, there was a foundation there on that corner that was the city of Calvert of Seth, way back in the day. We actually farmed here. This piece of dirt was right where the city of Seth was, which is kind of cool. Dad's sitting over there in the pickup supervising, waiting for me to fill the truck, and we're gonna sit here and go back and forth for a while and see how things turn out. Not doing too bad, having fun, not leaving much behind, nothing really on the loss sensors, losing samples, pretty darn clean. Hard to complain. My stress level gets a lot lower when I'm no longer cutting soybeans, that is for sure. Milo is just a lot easier, running the head about 17, 18 inches off the ground, leaving as much stubble as possible here to catch snow, and we'll keep covering ground. This is arguably the prettiest view I harvest all year. That hill right there, kind of looking back into the valley. That's Calvert right over there in the distance. The building there is where they process silica from a mine, an open mine on the backside of that hill. So that's kind of your little local knowledge stuff. You don't think about Kansas and mines, but there's one back on the backside of that hill where they mine in silica and they bring it down the hill right over there to that tin shed and process it and ship it out. I don't know what silica is used for. You guys can Google it and let me know. But I got an audience back there and the neighbor's bulls. But we're just going to keep right on rolling here. Hopefully my wife comes out sometime tomorrow and we can get video of this Gleaner in action cutting Milo. One of my favorite things to do. I really love to grow Milo. I know a lot of people hate it. Milo is one of my favorite things. I think it is far superior to growing soybeans in any way, shape, or form. And we personally don't really grow wheat anymore. I know everybody thinks Kansas is wheat farms, but I haven't harvested any wheat in 6 years, haven't drilled any in 7. So it's been a bit. We were talking about drilling a little wheat next fall, but that won't be harvested until 2027 if we do it. But we'll see. We're just going to keep right on and running here. anyways, that's the end of the day. We got more Milo to cut, plenty of fields to do. That's how it is. But for now, it's time for me to go home. I was getting ready to get into a part of the field that is a little rough, and darkness and dusk is no time to jump into that and tear up headers and combines. So with that, we're gonna truck on home in the old GMC. Hopefully get some more harvest footage of N6 in action picking corn and the Lodestar hauling corn in here. It's just been busy with life and family stuff the last few weeks, but we're going to try to keep making some videos. As we get closer to the farm and closer to the end of Milo, we will have the 82 Massey out to do some Milo with it as well, I hope, and see how that goes. I think it'll be fun. I have to get one of my old grain trucks out to dump into it because it won't dump on the semis or probably a Lodestar either. But yeah, about an 8-mile trip home to see my wife, eat some supper, hang out with the kids, and go from there. But with that, you guys take care. I'm on all the social medias. It's at TMontyIH. Still have some territorial trading hats up on the website for sale. You guys take care. We got a fun thing to go grab Monday morning. Today's Saturday, and then we're gonna be back in the field. With that, go drag some out of weeds and get it running.